Hey there, I hope you have seen the first video in this playlist before you jump to this video. If not, I strongly recommend you to please watch that before you start with this. Okay, now let's start. You are here because you save at the beginning of every month and you want your retirement payout every year beginning. This case suits anyone who thinks about their expenses annually rather than monthly, say annual insurance premium, property tax, a yearly holiday, or just someone who is disciplined enough to receive a lump sum and budget it out themselves. Okay, three cases in this sheet: case A, case B, case C. I will take you all the three cases and the sensitivity table on the right side. Let's go. Before we go into any cases or the sensitivity table, we have to fill out this section of retirement goal. We have to identify what is your retirement goal. Row number 7 is asking for your retirement how much amount you need per year. This is what you want your corpus to pay you every single year from year 1 of your retirement onwards. Enter that amount. Currently it is saying 12 lakh rupees. That is, every month you need 1 lakh, so yearly 12 lakh. Row number 8 is asking how many years will you be in retirement. By default, I have set it at 25. So the assumption is that you retire and you want the corpus to last exactly 25 years. After 25 years, it hits 0. That is, you don't get any corpus. If you want a buffer, increase this. Say, if your family has a history of living to 90 and you plan to retire at 55, then put 35 here. What we get here in row number 10 is, my dear friends, your retirement goal. Tomorrow, if anyone comes and asks you, what is your retirement goal? Don't stand dumbfounded. Now you have an answer. But please do note that this retirement goal is dependent on the required rate of return you inputted in the decision sheet. Let me show you. It is dependent on this decision required rate of return. If we change it to 50, then it will automatically change. Now, this single number, this retirement goal, feeds into all the three cases as well as the sensitivity table. Let's get into each of the cases. Case A. You know when you will retire and you want to know how much should you save monthly to reach your retirement goal. This case is for people who have a fixed retirement date in mind. Row 14 is asking exactly that. When will you retire? The sheet currently shows May 51. You may change this to your actual retirement target date. Row 16 automatically calculates how many months are left from today until that date. You need not do anything here. You may change the values only in those places where I have explicitly mentioned input in green colors. And do note that the number of months left till retirement cell, this cell is live, meaning every time you open this file, the number of months left for your retirement refreshes, so the countdown updates automatically. By the way, row 18 is your answer. That is how much to save every month beginning to hit your retirement goal by your retirement date. For this case, it is 2,716 rupees. So with 12 lakh yearly need and for your 25 years in retirement and whatever rate is on that decision sheet, this tells you exactly what your SIP amount should be every month beginning. Change any of the three inputs here or the decision sheet required rate and you will see this answer update automatically. How can we tweak this to other goals? Say you want to fund your parents' annual medical expense of rupees 3 lakhs per year for 10 years, but it is starting 7 years from now. So in row 7, you have to input the annual medical expense of 3 lakh. And in row 8, you have to input how many years you are going to support your family expense, your parents' health expense, and that is 10. You have to input 10. And when in this row number 14, it is asking when will you retire. In our tweaked goal, you have to input from when you will start paying your monthly parents' monthly fund expenses. Sorry, annual health fund. So 7 years from today, it will be something like April of 2033. So that means this amount 11,848 rupees is what you have to save from today every month beginning, so that you reach your goal of supporting your parents' yearly health checkup. I am again repeating, this value depends on the required rate of return you had inputted in the decision sheet. So if you are investing in a fixed deposit with 6% and per annum return, then change that required rate of return accordingly. Next, let's go to case B. Before that, let me change it to the previous values. Fine. Now let's go to case B. You are already saving an amount regularly every month beginning. You just want to know when you should retire so that you have hit your retirement goal. First of all, let me appreciate you for your regular savings habit. Do keep it up. As I said, you already know what you save every month. You want to know when you will hit your retirement goal. Row number 22 is asking exactly this. How much do you currently save per month? Currently it is showing 25,000. Row number 25 and row number 25 and row number 26 is your answer. Sorry, row number 24 and row number 25 is your answer. That is, from the month you started savings, you should have made a contribution for 135 months or 11.4 years. That is, not from today. You know when you started saving regularly, and from that date where you started saving, you have to make a contribution for 135 months so that your retirement goal is reached. So this is a reality check. If you are saving 25,000 a month towards a 12 lakh yearly need, this tells you how long you actually need to keep going. Try increasing your savings in row number 22 or increasing your required rate of return in the decision sheet, and you will see the number of years or number of months contribution that you have to make will reduce. Let's change it to 50,000 rupees. See, you have to now save for less number of months so that your retirement goal is reached and you can safely retire. Now let's come to case number C. You don't save regularly, but you have some existing savings which you have invested somewhere. Now this is the most realistic scenario for anyone who is already been working for a few years. You have some money, maybe in a PPF, mutual fund or FD, and you want to know, given what you already have, how much do you still need to save every month. Before that, here in case B, the assumption is that we have been saving, that is, you have been saving and you will be saving the same amount, in this case 50,000 rupees, from the moment you started savings to your retirement period. So that is the assumption here. Anyway, coming back to case C, you don't save regularly, but you have some existing savings which you have invested somewhere. For this also, it is asking you three inputs. How much existing savings you have. Currently it is showing 1 lakh. If you have any amount of savings, just input that here. And how much does this savings currently generate per year? Say, if you have invested your savings in an FD generating 7% per annum, then input that 7% here. Please do note that this interest rate has nothing to do with our interest rate, that our required rate of return in the decision sheet. Then again, it is next input it is asking is when will you retire? So input your retirement date. This row number 34 gives automatically calculates the number of months left till retirement. Now read the last blue line carefully. It tells you what amount you need to save from here on regularly every month beginning to reach your retirement goal. As per the returns generated by your existing savings, to reach your retirement goal of this amount is same as your retirement goal, you need to contribute regularly till retirement every month beginning an amount of 14,335 rupees. Now suppose if I input here, suppose you have a very big savings, say something like 2 crore rupees, then it is saying you need not contribute anything more for your retirement, towards your retirement. You already have a safe retirement amount, and you can, if you want, you can retire. Now let us come to the sensitivity table on the right side of the sheet. The header is saying sensitivity analysis, regular savings every month beginning that is required to reach the retirement goal. The rows are the return rates 5, 6, 7 to all the way up to 25%. Columns are the years to number of years till retirement. Suppose you have only 5 more years to retirement, or suppose you have 45 years more till your planned retirement, then that is what here it is giving. Suppose say your assumption is like 38 years more, means you can take round it off to 40 here. The sensitivity table is dependent on your retirement corpus from your retirement goal table that we filled. You change anything here, the sensitivity table automatically changes. Say instead of 12 lakh, we are putting 15 lakh rupees. Then automatically the sensitivity table also changes. How to read the table? Read it like this. Find your expected annual return in the rows. Say let's assume we need 12% annual returns. Then scan across the number of years you have until retirement. Let's assume you have 30 years till retirement. Then this intersecting cell is what tells you how much you have to save every month beginning to reach your retirement goal. The insight this gives you is that the table makes it immediately obvious that starting 10 years later cost you far more than lowering your return rate expectation. Time is the dominant variable. Rate matters, but not as much as time. That is compounding, and the table shows its effect starkly. The 20% and 25% rows are there for completeness. That's aggressive return territory, more relevant if someone is modeling a business investment or a high risk portfolio. For most people, 7 to 15% is the realistic range. So friends, that is sheet number 3. The formula logic repeats across all 16 sheets. Once you understand this sheet completely, the other 15 are just variations. Next video, we will be describing about sheet 4. Sheet 4, you are still saving monthly, still withdrawing yearly, but the payout now comes at the end of each year instead of the beginning. See you there. Thank you.